overview of my 2019 fatbob. I have 29,000 miles on it, getting pretty close to 30,000. I've had it for a little over 2 years probably now. Bought it in late 2018 when the 2019s came out. I've done quite a bit to it. My motor is mostly stock. The only thing that's really done to my motor is a stage 2, but it's all aftermarket. I have the PowerVision Dyno Jet tuner right here. I get a ton of comments and questions asking what is on my handlebars, and that's what it is. It's a PowerVision Dyno Jet tuner. You can basically go through here, see what engine temperature I'm at right now, mile per hour or RPM, and there's a ton of other custom gauges you can set, and you can read your codes, and you can get your bike dyno tuned, you can tune your bike, you can auto tune, you can do all that stuff. I have the Fuel Moto AC/DC air cleaner, and I have a clarity cover on that. I get a lot of questions about that as well. It's the Fuel Moto clarity cover and the Fuel Moto AC/DC air cleaner. Is basically the S&S teardrop, like the mini naked teardrop or whatever. So I live in Michigan. I live pretty close to some back roads, and it's always a great time to get out after work and get a ride in. Usually I am just cruising around and not trying to talk or anything. I'm going to try to change that, maybe throw out some MotoVlogs and see where that goes. But for the most part, I'm usually just cruising around these back roads. I do freeway riding, but for the most part, it's mostly back roads. My front fairing is a dougzcustom Spartan Mini, and I have the 6-up windscreen on there right now. I have probably 15 to 20,000 miles, maybe even more on just the Spartan Mini alone. I've pretty much had that since it's come out. Been the prototype tester for the 6-up and the prototype tester for the 3-up as well. I have a couple of the different videos up on my YouTube channel comparing the two, and also just reviewing just the windscreen. Right now it's getting a little chilly in Michigan, so it's definitely a good idea to start getting some winter stuff going. So I actually rode with this pretty much all summer, doing long trips here and there, and I actually really enjoyed it. It keeps a lot of wind off my chest and my head. I wear a full face, so it really doesn't bother me too much, but obviously some people it might bother you. I don't really know. It's like a huge ranch over there, or a farm, I don't know, but I drive by it all the time. I always wonder what it is. So I highly recommend the dougzcustom Spartan Mini and either the 3-up or the 6-up windscreen. I have in-depth reviews on my channel if you want to check those out. Just recently, probably a month or two, maybe a little bit more, I put the factory OEM cruise control on there, and I don't know why it didn't come from factory with cruise control on it, but that makes such a difference. I wish I would have had it for a lot more of my longer trips that I've been on. I've had like a throttle lock thing I got off Amazon, and it was kind of a pain in the ass, so kind of said screw that thing. So my exhaust is a Cobra El-Diablo 2-in-1. It's a really cheap exhaust, and it puts out some decent numbers on the dyno. Right now my bike's making 113 horsepower and the torque is 123. That's stock heads. pretty much stock everything except my cam, which is a S&S 475 cam. And with that, I have the S&S lifters, the Fuel Moto adjustable push rods. I have the 2020 oil pump, and still I have the 2019 cam plate in there. My bike was something with the 2019 oil pump, so I just got the updated one instead of buying the S&S or the Fueling or whatever other ones there are. I've broken numerous parts on here, unfortunately, but it happens. My clutch has been broken a couple times. The first time it was just a clutch. The second time it was a clutch basket. I wish I would have changed them both at the same time, but I ended up not doing that, and I only replaced it with the Barnett Scorpion clutch. And then when the my basket went out, I ended up upgrading to the Barnett basket as well. And shortly after that, my compensator went out, and that was kind of a pain. So I ended up doing a compensator delete by Dark Horse Crankworks, and it's the Man of War. Like, it's pretty much just a sprocket. It's not even really a compensator anymore. Bike has been on the drag strip quite a few times. I would say it's probably been on the drag strip at least 30 times at all different stages as well. Stock motor and everything, it was running a 12.5. I've had my bike dyno tuned twice for first time it was a 108 horsepower and a 108 foot-pound of torque. The second time on the same dyno, it ended up running a 113 horsepower and a 123 foot-pounds of torque. Originally, when it was making 108, I ran a 11.7 at the quarter mile, which is pretty fast for a Harley in my opinion. And the second time I ran it there, I ended up running a 11.5, and right now my third gear is actually kind of non-existent right now. As you see, I just kind of skipped through third, but my third gear is kind of like slipping or chugging. It's kind of hard to explain. It's pretty much just missing a tooth or two, I would assume. So I have a brand new transmission sitting at my house, and that will be going in there shortly. I have Moto adjustable MX style levers on here. I like these a lot. I moved them back towards me, and it's a game changer compared to those huge bulky standard Harley mirror, or sorry, not Harley mirrors, Harley levers. My mirrors are the Drag Specialties OEM square mirrors. I really like those a lot. I have no complaints about those. I've had a couple different mirror setups on here. I had the RLNS mini ovals, and one of them ended up falling off on the freeway. The bolt actually snapped on it, which is pretty ridiculous in my opinion, but for the price they are. But I ended up just replacing them with these ones. Phone mount is a quad lock the wireless head. My seat is the Saddleman step up. It's just all black, has stitching on the rear. I'm sure if you've seen my videos or my Instagrams, I've done a couple tours on my bike, like walking around tours. I figured I would change it up and do kind of like a riding one this time. But other than that, it's pretty much stayed the same since my last bike tour. Besides my cases, I changed out to the Pelican Vault 250 cases, which they're a top loading case. They're pretty much just an ammo box, like a plastic ammo box. If you can see that, I don't know, but I gave it a shot while I'm riding. I like these ones way more than the Harbor Freight ones I had on. The Harbor Freight ones were like an oyster style, and you open them up and everything would just fall out. These ones are top loading, and they're pretty much the same price that I got them for on sale. I paid, I want to say like $38 for, it might have been a little less, it might have been like $35 for the Harbor Freight ones, and the Pelican Vaults I paid, those sewer things were like sticking out of the ground. The Vaults I paid, I want to say they were like $38 to $40 each, which I'll take that for some cases that are top loading and not have to spend $1,000 on any other cases when I spend $80 and then $50 for the mounts, which I really can't complain about that. Right now I am heading down to downtown Ann Arbor just to do some, I might get some pictures, I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of cruising around. Wherever I go, I go. I might even just turn around here since it's kind of more city and it's probably a lot of traffic right now. So actually I'm going to do that and just ride on some back roads. So my exhaust is not the longest 2-in-1, it's not the best 2-in-1, but I only paid, I want to say it was only like $400 when I got it around Christmas when it was on sale. It might have been even a little bit less, I can't remember, but I really like that. It sounds great. It sounds great when you get on it. The cam's been a huge improvement on my bike compared to the stock. Some people like the stock and they're happy with it, whatever. I mean, you happy with it, you're happy with it. Me, I kind of wanted something a little with more horsepower, more torque, so I kind of did a stage 2, an aftermarket stage 2. So I want to say with like 1,000 miles on my bike, I voided my warranty with my tuner, and I was like, okay, whatever. My pegs, I have the Cross-Thread Cycles MX style pegs. My bars are the Trask risers. I don't remember the exact model, but they're 6-inch risers, and I have the Big L Cycles Moto style bars. They're 28 inches wide, which they're a little short, but I'm kind of used to it from my other bike. It doesn't really bother me. I might go to 30-inch wide, just to see how that is. I have the flush mount fuel cap from Harley Davidson for the 2018 Plus Softails. Blinkers up front are the Rogue Rider Industries LEDs. They're white and then they turn like amber when you blink, you turn. The rear is, I did the Custom Dynamics Taillight Era, whatever they call it. It's pretty much just a straight bar over behind my rear fender, and it looks great. I did the taillight relocation kit. Let's see if any of these people see me or not. Yeah, thanks. have the Cadence Motorsports rear license plate relocation kit. I have this little thing right here is for my garage door. I'm not gonna spend $100 or something for the thing that you get for the lights or whatever it is. That's kind of dumb, in my opinion. So I can't really do anything in third gear, but here's a fourth gear roll from 3,000 RPM. I didn't realize there was horses there, or else I wouldn't have done that. Enjoyed this bike. It's treated me great. Unfortunately, I have broken a lot of parts, like I've said. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Like I said, all I can really do right now is fourth gear pulls. Well, anything but third gear, or else it kind of screws me. Like I said, Michigan has some good roads, if you know where they are. Fatbob's pretty much good for anything. I take it on the freeways, back roads, city riding, drag racing, racing on the street, doing stupid stuff. I had a Sportster 48 before, a 1200cc bike. It was fun, but it was a little too small with the little peanut tank that it had for all the riding that I do. I ride pretty much every day, like I said. There's not really a day that I don't ride unless it's raining or unless it's snowing and like there's snow on the ground. I mean the road, like snow or ice on the road. Other than that, even in the winter, if there's snow on the grass or anything, I'm out, as long as there's none on the roads. Michigan does a pretty good job at salting pretty much everything, and our roads are terrible. So because of it, we have a ton of back roads. I ride a lot of back roads. This bike's really good in the twisties. We don't have too many curves or anything in Michigan, but we do have some nice roads. After you do a cam and tuner and everything, it gets pretty quick. Like I said, it's an 11-second bike with just a cam and a tune and all that, but stock head, stock cylinders, stock pistons, everything else in my motor's stock, besides a couple things like my push rods all my cam supporting stuff basically. Right now in Michigan, it's turning fall. Well, it is fall now with all the weather change. So the leaves will start to die pretty much, and they turn different colors. They'll be all different colors. It's pretty cool. We have a fun bunch of roads out here that we usually go to. They're always trees, and it's a really good ride, in my opinion. I usually ride like west of where I live, so it's kind of all country roads, 2-lane roads, and that's where I have a lot of fun at. That's where I enjoy riding the most. I hate riding in the city. And honestly, the freeways aren't very fun. You can go 180 miles an hour, 200 miles an hour, whatever, but all those high speeds, it gets old after a while. Go do that on a back road. See if you can do that. This bike, the fastest it's been up to after my tune and everything is 150 miles an hour. Might have been a little bit more, but under 160, but in the 150s for sure. I have quite a few videos of me doing that, but if you want to check out my Instagrams or my other videos on my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it. Give me a like, thumbs up, whatever. Anything helps. If you guys want to suggest me some things to talk about, some things to do, what I do for a living, whatever, feel free to ask in the comments below, and maybe I'll make a video about it in the future. Until next time, guys, have a great day, ride safe, ride your limits, and enjoy the ride. Most importantly, have a great day.